Hello! This guy participates in bot fights for money and also has a real talent for robotics. He's attracted to fast cash and adrenaline. But is that the limit of his dreams? Hiro Hamada has yet to find his true values in life, and the path to them will not be easy. Illegal robot fights take place in the dark alleys of the city. The crowd applauds. The girl's pink robot knocks its thick opponent to the ground, but at the last moment, it reveals a hidden weapon and slices the pink robot in half. Little Yama takes his winnings. A scrawny kid comes out of the crowd. He wants to perform with his homemade craft, throwing the last of his money on the line. He sits across from the big man. In 2 blows, the fat man takes out the kid's little bot, but the boy demands a rematch and pulls out a decent sum of money from his pocket. The kid drops the act and turns on the Megabot mode, dodging attacks and tearing the crowd's favorite to pieces.
This is not possible!
Hey, I'm as surprised as you are. Beginner's luck.
Little Yama does not tolerate the humiliation and orders his gang to teach the boy a lesson. Just in time, Hiro is rescued by his brother on a scooter. While they are fleeing from the bandits, Tadashi scolds his brother for wasting his talents like this. Hiro doesn't listen. He's thrilled with the victories and prize money. They're about to escape when the path is blocked by the cops. Aunt Cass gets the boys out of the precinct and gives them a good scolding. She's been trying to be a good mother for them for 10 years, even though she doesn't think she's fit for the role. The boys' parents are dead, so she had to take on the burden of raising them. The family arrives home, and after all of that, Hiro finds a new arena to fight in as if nothing had happened. He rushes out of the house in the middle of the night. Again, Tadashi fails to talk sense into his brother.
I'll take you.
Really?
I can't stop you from going, but I'm not going to let you go on your own.
On the way, under a far-fetched pretext, Tadashi takes the little troublemaker to a university where he shows the boy his lab. Hiro meets talented young kids inspired by science. The confident Go-Go works on speed bikes on electromagnetic suspension. The extra-orderly Wasabi on plasma lasers. The friendly and restless Honey Lemon on colorful chemical mixtures. And Fred, who invented all the nicknames for the guys, is not even a student at all, but just the university's mascot from the cheerleading team. The guy is a science fanatic and endlessly wants to improve his lizard costume so he can put on spectacular performances. Tadashi leads Hiro on and shows him his invention.
Hello, I am Baymax, your personal healthcare companion.
This is a medic robot, capable of performing diagnostics and providing first aid. On the outside, it is made of an air-inflated vinyl to be soft and harmless. But on the inside, it has a complex and powerful mechanism and a special chip that contains the program, the memory and personality of the robot. If you tell the robot that you're satisfied with the treatment, it deflates and places itself into a compact suitcase. Suddenly, Tadashi's instructor, Professor Robert Callaghan, enters the room.
You must be Hiro, bot fighter, right? When my daughter was younger, it's all she wanted to do.
Hiro doesn't immediately recognize him, though he's read all of the scientist's works. Plus, the gladiator robot he created was based on his books. The professor scolds the guy for taking the easy way out, using his technology to battle. At the university, the tasks they set are more difficult. Hiro is finally excited about the idea of going to university to learn from his idol. Tadashi tells his brother about a talent showcase in which the authors of the best projects earn the honor. Hiro works tirelessly, but has a creative crisis. His brother joins in and helps him find a new approach. An idea is born. Together with their new friends from the university, they haul containers with the invention to the contest. It seems that Hiro has never wanted anything as much as he does now, and is really worried. He manages to cope with the anxiety and demonstrates the microbot prototype, which is joined by thousands of the same microbots.
I think what I want them to do, they do it.
Microbots can build structures, move goods and people, and much more. This impresses the participants, and businessman Mr. Cree offers Hiro to buy the patent for a huge sum of money. But Professor Callaghan warns the boy. Mr. Cree doesn't have the best reputation. The businessman is willing to violate scientific principles for his own gain. The guy refuses and receives the invitation that he's been dreaming of from the professor. The brothers are left alone for a while. Hiro is very grateful for Tadashi's support. Suddenly, they hear a fire alarm. The exhibition hall is on fire, and Tadashi realizes that his teacher hasn't made it outside yet.
Callahan's in there. Someone has to help.
The guy runs into the burning building, dropping his cap. A few seconds later, there's an explosion. Tadashi is dead. At the funeral, Hiro sits away from everyone, heartbroken. He spends his days at home, depressed, and doesn't show up for classes at the university for a month. His new friends send him messages, but he doesn't answer. The guy thinks about going back to fighting in the arena, but drops the robot on his leg. Shrieking in pain, he accidentally activates his brother's robot, Baymax. The chubby bot obsessively tries to diagnose his patient. Hiro attempts to get rid of the robot and accidentally finds one of his microbots under the bed. It's going somewhere, but where? After all other microbots were destroyed in the fire.
Why don't you, find out where it's trying to go?
Would that stabilize your pubescent mood swings?
Hiro answers, "Yeah, right," sarcastically. And just a moment later, Baymax is already on the streets. Hiro rushes off to chase the robot. Baymax is going through freeways, and Hiro barely manages to catch up with him. They arrive at the door of a locked warehouse. Climbing through the open window, they discover an entire microbot factory inside. The heroes accidentally make noise, and an entire ocean of microbots come to life. They are controlled by a stranger in a theatric kabuki mask. The two make it to the window, but Baymax gets stuck. Hiro rushes to push him out, but loses his balance and flies down from a great height. Baymax catches the guy and cushions his fall. The police don't believe Hiro's story, and Baymax runs out of charge and begins to deflate. They have to return home, where the robot recharges and notices Tadashi's cap. Hiro responds that his older brother is dead, and this causes him heartache. Baymax decides to provide mental therapy and notifies Hiro's friends of his condition.
Now what are you doing?
Other treatments include compassion and physical reassurance.
The guy suddenly realizes that the tragedy with his brother might have been set up to steal the microbots. He rushes to the garage to upgrade the robot. Baymax gets new armor and a second chip with a library of offensive moves. Hiro also teaches the robot his and Tadashi's special greeting. The heroes head back to the warehouse, only to find that the microbots have already been taken away. They continue their search and find the villain at the port. He's retrieving something from the sea using bots. Suddenly, their investigation is interrupted by Tadashi's friends, who have been summoned by Baymax, the same young researchers from the university. They want to help Hiro with his depression, but the timing isn't right. And once again, a masked villain comes to the noise. He throws a huge container at the group, but Baymax catches it and saves the kids. Wasabi gets behind the wheel and the chase begins. The masked man moves through the city on the microbots like on a giant wave.
No, he's trying to kill us! He's trying to kill us!
Wasabi's driving is too cautious, and Gogo snatches the steering wheel from him. The car flies over obstacles and barely avoids a passing train. The villain almost manages to catch them, but the guys escape his clutches. They don't have time to rejoice though, as their car smashes through a guardrail and falls into water. Baymax drops his armor to float up and rescue his friends. Soaked and freezing, they follow Fred, and they can't believe their eyes. A guy who dresses and acts almost like a homeless person turns out to be the heir to a wealthy family and invites them into his enormous mansion.
Don't you guys get it? The man in the mask who attacked us is none other than... Voila!
It's Mr. Kree, who Hiro didn't sell the patent on his microbots to. The guys have their doubts, but it turns out that Baymax managed to scan the masked villain's medical records during the chase. Hiro hatches a plan to catch the mysterious man and rip off his mask. Honey Lemon will use colored foam to immobilize the opponent. Gogo will change her bicycle for lightning-fast roller skates. Wasabi will get sharp laser blades. And Fred's costume now jumps high and breathes fire. The kids are excited about their new abilities. Baymax, on the other hand, gets an entire arsenal. He now shoots rocket fists and flies, albeit extremely clumsily.
What do you say?
Your neurotransmitter levels are rising steadily.
The robot thinks the therapy has worked and offers to deactivate him. But the guy can't stop there. After all, his goal is to catch the villain who set off the explosion. The robot's super sensor shows that the person they are looking for is on an island in the bay. The group gathers to try their new suits in action. They fly over the water, holding on to Baymax, and it becomes clear that they don't know how to use their new powers at all yet. Nonetheless, the team flies across the bay and makes their way inside the building, where they see a strange, destroyed structure. In the control room, they play a video file in which Kree demonstrates teleportation technology to the military. The girl Abigail gets inside the capsule and is sent through a portal in it. But something goes wrong and an explosion occurs. The capsule is lost between dimensions, and the general shuts down the experiment. The friends realize that Kree must be using the microbots to repair the portals. Before they know it, the villain throws a huge block at them. Baymax is in position, and the friends begin the battle. Fred is immediately defeated. Wasabi hesitates, while the girls rush into the fight and land a couple of accurate strikes, but eventually bump into each other. Hiro enters the fight just in time and rips the mask off. Professor Callaghan! He survived the fire with the help of the microbots. So Tadashi was the only one who died.
Give me the mask, Hiro.
He went in there to save you.
That was his mistake.
Hiro is furious and orders Baymax to destroy the professor. The robot refuses, so Hiro pulls out Baymax's medical chip. Deprived of compassion, the robot unleashes its full fighting arsenal, and the professor is on the verge of death. His life is saved by the rest of the team. The guys grab the robot and put the chip back in. In the meantime, the professor manages to pick up the mask and escape. Hiro feels betrayed and decides to act alone. He tries to remove the chip again, but Baymax prevents him from doing so.
Will terminating Professor Callahan improve your emotional state?
Yes. No, I don't know.
Instead, he shows the boy Tadashi's video diary, in which he tells the story of the robot's creation. Hiro is upset and ashamed of his behavior. His friends arrive as well. They review the footage from the island and learn that Callaghan hates Kree and wants to take revenge on him. All because Abigail, the missing capsule pilot in the portal, is the professor's daughter. The professor attacks Kree during a public presentation and activates a portal that begins to destroy and pull Kree's company building into it.
You're going to watch everything you've built disappear. Then it's your turn.
Hiro and his team arrive and try to convince the professor that such cruel methods will not bring back the ones he loves. The man is not ready to abandon his plans, and the battle ensues. The portal continues to suck in the building and everyone around it, including Hiro. While the professor attacks and immobilizes the team, the guy is literally hanging by a thread. Suddenly, he remembers his brother's words about looking at the situation from a different angle, and then his friends free themselves from the trap. The team provokes the professor to attack in a way that more and more bots get pulled into the portal. The bots run out, and Baymax destroys Callaghan's mask, depriving him of his control over the microbots. The portal falls to the ground, but continues to gain critical mass, threatening to explode. Everyone runs away, only Baymax hesitates. His sensors have detected signs of life inside the portal. Hiro and the robot travel to the unknown dimension and find the capsule with Abigail sleeping in it. It looks like they're close to rescue, when all of a sudden a flying object collides with Baymax. His armor is damaged and he can't fly any further. But he can sacrifice himself to push Hiro and the capsule with Abigail to the exit. The only thing he needs is the consent of his master.
There is no time. Are you satisfied with your care?
Please.
Hiro is grieving and cannot let go of Baymax, who reminds him of his brother's love. But there's no other way out, so he agrees. The mission is over. The medics take care of Abigail, and she wakes up on a stretcher while her shocked father is handcuffed. Some time passes. On TV, they honor the mysterious heroes who saved the city. Hiro meets his friends at a cafe and hugs his dear aunt. The boy finally starts attending university. He has a rocket glove in his box, which Baymax used to push him to the portal. Hiro gives the glove a fist bump and all of a sudden discovers the robot's identity chip inside. Baymax pulled it out just before he was deactivated.
Hello, Hiro.
Baymax gets a new body, and Hiro and his friends are now running around town in their advanced costumes. His brother's desire to help people becomes their guiding star, and that's what Hiro is going to dedicate himself to. As always, you can find the movie title in the description of the video. In the meantime, let us know in the comments. Have you found your passion, or are you still looking for it? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a like to make sure that awesome stories are released as often as possible.